Peace. What it is, last video I did was about how to read your birth chart. This one will show you. I'm gonna show you what everything is, what the sun does, what the moon does, like inside of you, how this correlates to you. Okay. So I read this. I just show you in the book. You know what I mean. That's why I always try to show y'all the books. I do not attempt to be, anybody to y'all other than a study buddy. You know what I mean? Share information, that's it. So I read this in the last video. Now I'm gonna read you this part about what each planet represents for you. Okay. At the time of your birth, the planets through their configurations and relationships tell us something about how things were when you were born. Each planet points to a special quality within us, yet of all of the planets, the two most important to astrologers are the lights, the sun and the moon. From what we stand on of the great shining sun by day, reflecting the moon at night, are our constant companions. They have much to tell us as to where we have been and where we are headed. The sun. From the sun comes the light, which draws all of us living on this earth into life. The sun is that in the astrological chart represents the very heart of us, our deepest core essence. It is what we shall become after we work through all of the changes life offers us. In other words, in astrology, the sun represents our identity, our true self. The sun is your will, what you came here to do. Mine is in Gemini, that's information. And what do? All right. Well, that's thinking. What do? I talk about abstract shit like astrology. The moon provides information about the kind of environment we create around ourselves, the particular life support system, what nourishes us. Endlessly circling the earth, the moon is a kind of cosmic mother and has often been called the great provider. And although the moon does not have to do with the kind of situation we draw ourselves, and although the moon does have to do with the kind of situation we draw around ourselves, it also represents where we have come from, the personal past out which we have grown, including all of our old habits and stages of life that we have discarded. The moon represents your mother. The mother is where we come from. See? All right, Mercury. Mercury is the light in our eyes, the ever-changing consciousness within us that moves from idea to idea. Thus, Mercury has always represented thoughts, ideas, and mental process in general. It governs not only ideas, but communication too. Communication by phone, letters spoken, or however, are ruled by Mars. Also, thoughts, connections, phones, wires, everything that connects and conveys, even conversations. Okay? So how you think, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder if I'm blah, 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 blah. That's your Mercury. You'll know what sign it is. You need to know how you think, all right? Venus rules our values and sense of appreciation. When we appraise or appreciate something, whether that be another person or a new car, this is Venus. The sense of love and compassion we may feel. By the same token, this planet rules enjoyment of all kinds too, whether it be self-appreciation or just plain old decent self-enjoyment, having a good time. This is Venus. When we go shopping or on a spending spree, it's Venus that allows us to appreciate the value of all good things of life. All right, Venus is what you like, what you love, what you're attracted to, what you want to do. Mars is the planet of emotion and inner motivation or drive. When we search for the meaning for something such as life, it is Mars that urges us on, keeps us searching. Mars also drives us against things too, sends us into war and combat. The urgency of Mars, the search for meaning, is identical to the need for union and marriage. Mars is the planet of union or yoga, and marriage is most common form. And marriage is the most common form of yoga. What? When we have questions about the opposite sex, we are looking at the planet Mars. All right, Mars is your judgmental. You know what I'm saying? You're well, you seen what it said. rules Aries and Scorpio. You know, that's when your Venus say, "Oh, I like that, I want to do that." It's Mars to say, "But hold on, think about this." Blah 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 blah. That's why they say, you know, it's man versus woman, left brain versus right brain. Jupiter is a planet of success, or at least simple survival. The way we have to solve the problems that comfort us. Thus, Jupiter has to do with the way in which we can be successful, our vocation. The Hindu word for Jupiter is guru. Jupiter is the guru, the guide. Jupiter's Jesus too. You know, Jesus was a guru. The way we go through life, our life path of vocation. Jupiter is the method each of us has for dealing with the laws of life, our Saturn, our limitation. Okay, I'm gonna show you something in a second. Jupiter is a particular life path. Jupiter provides us with our sense of direction, the path we are on, the way we handle life. It affects how we approach life's problems. It always has been an indicator of how successful we may be, our vocation. The process of finding out who we are, self-discovery, starts when we come into the grips with whatever problems life presents to us, our Saturn, and begin to get a handle on them. In other words, if we have not learned to deal with Saturn or time, that is, if we don't have some control of time, there's little opportunity for other questions. Saturn rules the laws and particular limitations of this material world we live in. Saturn indicates in each of our astrology charts where we are bound to learn, like it or not. Saturn is said to be the great teacher, the planet that keeps us from getting too carried away in one direction or another. Although it always seeks to limit and determine any thought, word, action, it also defines and clarifies. Let me show y'all something. Hold on. All right, now remember what it was saying about Venus. What you like, right? This is Venus, right side of the brain. Right? Then it said Mercury is your mind, right? How you think. That's Mercury right there. That's the sun. This is the Kabbalistic tree of life, all right? In the Bible, when it says, do not eat, God told Eve, don't eat the apple on the tree. This is the apple, dog. All right, I can show y'all that, you know, but you know, you can research and figure that yourself. But either way, all right. So Jupiter, see, it was saying Jupiter is a planet of success. Let me see. Jupiter is the method of us. Each of us has for dealing with the laws of life, our Saturn, our limitation. Now, remember when I said this earlier, I said Venus when you want to do something, right? And then Mars tells you, you know, hold on, you got to chill out, right? It's the same concept, just on a higher level. You see, this is what you like, what you love, right? What you've encountered in the physical reality. This is what you like, what you love spiritually, okay? What your spirit is telling you to do. Success, at least in ways, solve problems. Successful vocation, guru. See, guru, this is your higher self, essentially, okay? How we deal with, it says how we deal with Saturn, our limitations, right? Whatever problems life presents to us, right? That's your left brain. So all we talking about is left versus right, you see? It's be Jupiter versus Saturn, Venus versus Mars. You see what I'm saying? Your mind versus your emotions, right? You know, you can look at it, you know, a number of ways, but you see the correlation where this is your side, this is your right brain, this is your left brain, this is the middle pillar. All right, equal this equal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? 10 plus 9 is 19. Right? Plus 6 is 25. Now you see this one shaded out because this is the hidden sphere, so it don't count in this. See, 25 plus 1, 26. So you see the way that God is balanced mayat between your left and right brain. It equals 26 Kabbalistically. You see, so when we talking astrology, we talking Kabbalistic, we talking your mind, right? We talking about everything, as above, so below. All right, now the outer planets. Up to this point, we've dealt with the planets that we have, that we can see with our naked eye. In general, these planets refer to life as we know it, live it, and are the so-called historical or classical planets. Beyond these are three planets that are not visible in the sky, which have cycles longer than the average human lifespan. Since they are beyond Saturn in time, astrologers call them transpersonal, transcendental planets. These planets beyond the physical. One of the ways astrologers learn something about our life beyond time, eternal life, is through these three outer planets: Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Here we find information on how we discover ourselves, Uranus, how we understand and accept these discoveries, Neptune, and in time, how we depend and identify with them, Pluto. All right. So these are what they call generational planets because they affect whole generations. All right. This is really the science of the indigo children and the crystal children and all that, rainbow children and all that old shit. It's really based on these. Okay. They don't tell you this stuff. They just tell you stuff, but they don't give you how they figured it out. I'm gonna tell you how they figured it out. That way you can figure it out for yourself. It's all about everybody being a priest unto themselves in this epoch. This is the age of Aquarius, man. You know, the priesthood is dead. The Moors always say the priesthood is dead. Our responsibilities can tend to weigh us down. We each have our own particular way of getting around or breaking through the mass of obstructions that tend to congeal around us. The planet that has to do with how we get beyond the difficulties and problems life presents us is Uranus. Here is the way insight comes to us, how we discover or come to know and understand ourselves. It has to do with the finding of new uses of old things. It rules inventions and sudden insight into our life. Everything that is unusual, eccentric, out of the ordinary, in reverse of the status quo is always unconventional and heretical. Uranus is, in many ways, the opposite of undoing or Saturn. Now, in mythology, Uranus is Saturn's father. Uranus really rules the higher aspects of Aquarius. Saturn rules Aquarius, but Uranus rules the higher aspects, meaning Aquarius is what changes Capricorn. You know, you go from Capricorn to Aquarius. You learn in Capricorn, and then you use what you learn. See what they said? They said that in here somewhere. Go beyond the difficulty. You use what you learn in Aquarius. You understand what I'm saying? To go forward. So, you know, Aquarius really a pioneer, man. FYI. Okay. Neptune. Even the most hard-nosed of us have moments of real understanding when things are seen as linked together in one piece. We stop getting the idea a little faster and just finally get the whole thing. It dawns on us. We each have our own way of letting go, having communication, and as a poet wrote, letting the dewdrop slip into the shining sea. These moments in this state of mind are in fact the source of our imagination. There are many ways of seeing through the separateness of the world to the unity behind it. This is the planet Neptune. Okay, Neptune rules Pisces, higher aspects of Pisces, and it's your pituitary gland, the master gland of the body, rules your imagination. Okay, so very important. Pluto is a planet of profound change, starting deep within us, moving toward the surface. It often touches upon the most sensitive psychological areas inside of us. Once touched, we have no choice but to change and grow. The most sensitive experiences, the times of great vulnerability, are times of complete identification with and experience, a person or a thing. We know in these instances that we are looking at ourselves, what we are. The most personal of experiences is one of the complete identification with a person, moment, or idea. Perhaps this is only possible for most of us when we look into our child's eyes, then only infrequently. Love is not the experience here, but total identification. This is very sensitive stuff. To touch upon this material is to go through deep inner change and transformation, inner alchemy. Identification and experiencing that life is our own creation, and that in fact you are I and I am you. This experience breaks us down and humbles. When we teach upon this experience, we cannot but die to what we have been thinking and doing up to now. It reduces us to our most sensitive, because in a flash we see or remember that in all is us, our life. That it all is us, our life. Okay. And then you got the midhaven, the ascendant. Let me tell you, let me give you that. The midhaven, I'm gonna show you what the midhaven is. What I do with that chart. Hold on, give me a sec. It's right up under me. Alright, this is the midhaven. It's the start of your 10th house. 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. Capricorn rules career. Okay, so watch this. The midhaven is the most elevated degree of the zodiac in the astrological chart. In most systems of house division, it is also the cusp beginning of the 10th house. Midhaven is often used interchangeably with zenith, but this usage is inaccurate. The midhaven tells us something about our vocational and practical abilities. It is here that we can use to do and manipulate. This point is usually associated with our other standing in the world, our fame, reputation, and fortune. The midhaven represents fame, honor, since it is here that we have our most practical sense and vision. We can see and use it in our vantage point or perspective. The midhaven is also the cusp of the 10th house for most astrologers. All right, and ascendant is where your chart starts. What I do? Damn, I got a bad memory. Ascendant, your chart, first house, second house. In Western astrology, the ascendant is usually regarded as influencing the native's appearance and certain outward traits more than the depth of her or her personality. In some system of esoteric astrology, the ascendant is said to embody the positive traits that the native is supposed to be growing toward. If one was born with Virgo on the ascendant, for example, then the native will need to learn to become more organized and more attentive to detail. Whatever one's view of the greater or lesser depth of the ascendant, there is a general agreement that the ascendant is peculiarly sensitive point in the horoscope. All right, and then you go to the nodes, but you go do your own studies. Get the basics. You got the basics. See, so when you get your chart read, I give you these. I give you the basics. This is for people who don't know nothing about astrology. Now, for the people who have been studying their chart, they know a little bit. I go in this book, give you a little more in depth. But I'm gonna have to charge a little bit more, just because I'm reading a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't. Like I don't. The whole charging people thing is crazy for me because information is free or whatever, but y'all, like a lot of y'all ain't got time to be doing all this, and I understand that. So pay your brother to do it for you. You see what I'm saying? I mean, this is how society works. Whatever people good at, you pay them people and let them do it for you. You see what I'm saying? But we don't take value and stuff like this, and I understand. So it's all good. That's why I'm working on my book. I just had a book, and I let the book speak for itself. But in the meantime, I can really get it done faster if I have to go 9 to 5. But like I say, I'm a man. I'm gonna take care of my family first. So peace and love, man. I hope y'all can do something with this, but I'm gonna have to charge you if you know what I mean. It just is what it is. It's just this society, fam. It's fucked up, but it is what it is. So peace and love. Take it easy.